What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is indeed Wednesday, which means a new summit is now live here in Motorfest. For this week, we are going to have the LBWK rain, which is going to give us the Mecha Suit Underglow, and I have to admit, like, it looks okay, but I really just think the rewards are just not all that great. We also get the Mazda MX-5 there in gold, which if you already have that vehicle, I would expect maybe 100k from it. Then we're going to have ourselves some legendary parts, and then 100,000 XP after that. The next thing, though, we're going to have the Japanese Custom Volume 2 Summit, which is actually finally going to give us an epic underglow, the Nova Pulse. That one does actually look kind of dope, like I admit it. But at the end of the day, though, it's still going to be an underglow, so I don't know if players are going to want to log on and do a summit for an underglow. Do let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. We're also going to get the Version R Nebula Edition, which I have to admit, that thing also fits that Underglow to a T. The next summit, though, is going to be the Toge Volume 2 here. It's going to give us the Chicago High Smoke, which is kind of dope. I also think that's going to be very close to another smoke we currently have in the game. So, the rewards, guys, I have to admit, are pretty dang mid. We're also then going to get the Nissan 370Z Nismo there in gold, which is, again, a free $100,000 if you do own it. The next one, though, is going to be the Spooktacular, which is obviously going to be for the Halloween part. That is going to be a tire, which is going to basically be a fully black tire. Half it is going to be like the green fire. It looks kind of cool, I guess. But again, it is going to be a blue tire. The final reward, though, is going to be a really nice looking car, guys. I think that's the Sylvia there. Have to admit, it's actually going to be pretty sweet. The only unfortunate part about it is it's at the end of the entire month, so we have to get through basically 4 summits of a underglow, a second underglow, then we have a smoke, and then a tire for this summit until we finally get to the good one, which is going to give us a vehicle. Now, moving into the summit here, though, we're then going to have 1 hypercar race and 5 street tier 2 events. We're also then going to have a slalom, a bullseye, and a speed trap. For the speed trap here, I would actually recommend basically picking a drag car of your choice. You're probably going to notice that the Burning Wheels edition is always going to be number 1, but I would also recommend trying out the Dodge Viper SRT10. It's actually fairly decent. For this one, though, guys, all you have to do when you spawn in is basically turn around a bit, go down the road, then basically face toward the objective, accelerate, go all the way up to 5th gear, and hit that nitrous before you get to the objective. And also, big tip, by the way, watch out for the pedestrians that spawn in legitimately the worst places ever. Besides that, we're then going to have a bullseye. For this, you'll need an off-road ground vehicle and, of course, a plane. All you will basically need besides that, though, is going to be a score breaker set, and you should easily be able to max out at 129,000 points on basically every single bullseye and also many of the slaloms. Speaking of slaloms, once again, all you guys will basically need is a score breaker set for this one. I actually used a motocross bike. Like, yeah, I'm not going to have the highest points ever, but the best thing about this, though, is at least if you are running a score breaker set on basically any of the ground vehicle classes, you should easily be able to get the maxed out score on most of the skills. Besides that, though, moving over to the first event I did want to talk about is going to be Punk Performance. So you guys will notice this one is going to say vehicle owned on it. I'm going to admit right now, by the way, that, well, I did not do very good on this event, but I did not really see a point of going back into it and trying to get a better score with the actual reward being an underglow. Have to admit that. But you also get to use the new 720S Liberty Walk Edition. I am actually planning on buying this car. I think it's around $1.8 million to get it. Do stay tuned for my review on that car coming in the next few days. Before this event, though, it's going to be fairly long, being well over 3 minutes on it. And I would say you actually get to test out this car being base pro settings. And I have to admit, though, I'm pretty dang interested in trying out this car with the proper pro settings on it, and of course on top of that throwing on a nitro chemist set to see how it actually does. Overall, though, I would say in this event, like, it does handle decently well being on base pro settings, but I do think this thing is definitely going to need some tweaking on it to really make it the best it can actually be in this game. Besides that, though, the next event is going to be a Street Tier 2 race. For this, I actually decided to run the Porsche 911 Carrera 4S Timeless Edition. you're probably going to notice a trend of what everyone is probably using here in the leaderboards, which I can definitely understand. The Huracan is going to be so dang good. I definitely cannot blame people for trying that thing. And I do understand that the Huracan is easily going to be the best option for this race if you are chasing the highest times possible. For me, though, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have some fun in these summits. It is just going to be like an Underglow. It's not going to be a really dope car or anything. So why not try something else out on this and see how it does? Turns out the 911 Carrera 4S Timeless Edition is actually pretty dang good. With the build I'm running on this car, this thing handles incredibly well. And on top of that, the acceleration on the Porsche 911 is absolutely insane. I would definitely recommend trying out that car if you haven't used it. And then for the next two events though, you're then going to have to use the Supra Liberty Walk Edition for the Global Nation and the Pure Performance. The reason why I do say that is this car really is going to be absolutely incredible. I really would actually say right now this is probably going to be one of the best Toyotas in the Street Tier 2 category. Now for this event you are going to be forced to have to use the Supra, but my goodness though, I feel like everybody is going to love this car. It's not only going to be decently quick, but the handling on it is so dang nice. It's also pretty dang crisp, like I do enjoy it. That's why I actually decided to run this car again on this event, which I can definitely see is going to be a trend because you'll probably notice that basically everybody is using it, and that is going to be for a good reason. I did actually end up trying the Toyota Supra A80 on this one, which is going to be the older Supra, and I just found the Supra Liberty Walk, which is going to be the newer one, to be so much better than that car in this event. If you guys are struggling using one of the other Supras, try out the Liberty Walk. It is definitely going to easily be the best option. For the other two events though, I did end up using the GTR Haru edition on them, which I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. This car is also going to be incredibly good in Motorfest, which I would say is a bit shocking. Like, you're probably going to go, well, shouldn't you think the regular Nismo is better, the newer one? But no, the new GTR Haru edition is legit that good, man. Like, not even kidding. This car is going to be incredibly fast, it handles really well, and I can definitely see why so many players are running it. Even for the Elite Nation, I would definitely recommend trying out this car. Now, I do understand the GTR Black Panther Edition is easily the best overall option. If you guys do not have that car, now I do have it, but I feel bad using a Summit car in some of these because I do know not everybody has it. So I did actually want to use the GTR Haru Edition to show that you can do it, and also place incredibly high if you don't have the best overall option for this specific event. But overall though guys, I would like to know what you think about this summit in the comments below. I would say a lot of players are most likely going to enjoy these Street Tier 2 events. I would say the biggest flaw of the summits though is easily going to be rewards that you actually get from them, because I really do feel like they could be so much better in these summits. If you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. Let's jump right into this.